Oh, recording in progress as we like to start. And without further ado, episode 4 of Collateral Parenting. Oh, there will also be an intermission, a 5-minute intermission between episodes. I forgot that. But anyway, let's start. Yay!
Previously on Collateral Parenting. Officially disbanded by Principal McCormick, the PTA members decided that there was only one logical plan of action for moving forward: murder her. With Diana's ghost taunting Pam at every turn and Hans suddenly missing, it seemed nothing could get weirder, until former President Kathy Jones suddenly appeared from beyond the grave, then immediately ate one of the poisoned crudités. Is there a chance of saving her, or is the one ex-PTA going to have to band together and bury a body on a school night? Seconds after Kathy collapsed after eating the poisoned crudité, the room is stunned into silence. It's broken by Lance remembering aloud.
Oh man, she died before I could even ask her how she was doing.
The room stares at him now.
Well, it's the polite thing to do. This could have been a fresh start for us. Now she's dead, and my son is still missing, and I don't even get to complain about it to her.
Elaine turns on McCormick.
You knew? She was alive this whole time, and you let us live in fear of potentially getting murdered the same way. And for what? So you could watch us like the world's dumbest and most depressing reality show?
Well, yes. Sorry, but I don't think my cliffhanger-worthy scheme should be our main focus right now. Kathy is dead, for real this time.
Well, now, we don't know that she's dead. She could just be snookered out right now as the poison slowly seeps into her lungs and snuffs out her life. There could be some hope yet, or it could just be a lost cause. It's hard to say which is more likely.
I'm sorry, excuse me, the what?
The poison that definitely wasn't put in those cruddy tater tots on purpose. It was probably one of the students who did it. Kids today are totally into doing pranks and that threaten the livelihood of others and are borderline crimes. My son's crazy about Davy Dobrik. Come on, reference.
I hated every word you just said. And you know as well as I do that these kids care about what we do as much as we care about what they do, which is...
Not at all.
Not at all.
Tiffany, did you put poison in those crudités?
What an excellent question, Principal Ann McCormick. And while I am still rattled by the revelation that you intentionally shut down our PTA after we failed to elect a new member in a dramatic, plot twist-filled soap opera-esque manner, which led to the death of one of our dear members, and seems to be leading to a second, I will still work to answer your question with the proper amount of thought it deserves. Though, whether or not we owe one another anything, it's a fascinating topic, most recently publicized by TM Scanlon in...
Tiffany, this isn't a pageant. Just give a straight answer.
Pass. Thank you.
Everyone gives her obligatory pageant applause, except Elaine and McCormick.
Oh my. You didn't know she was alive. Tiffany was so insistent. Pam's pun was terrible and forceful. You were trying to poison me?
Okay, I don't think you have the right to get mad at us, because if you had just been polite and eaten one of those crudités, you'd be dead right now and you wouldn't have to worry about anything. This is on you.
I'm sorry, are you blaming me for not dying?
I don't know, okay? I don't know. I'm in mourning, okay?
Lance tries to summon tears. Holly recovers from shock and assumes authority.
Okay, if there's even a chance that she's alive, I think we should do something. I need to hear that monologue again. I think she said that Diana was a better leader than I was. That couldn't have been right. Oh, somebody should perform CPR.
The PTA nods enthusiastically, except for Pam, who tries to object non-suspiciously.
Good idea.
A novel suggestion.
Of course.
Yeah, but not if it's gonna be any trouble.
Someone must perform CPR. That's exactly right.
The group has reached a consensus. CPR should be performed. Silence follows this decision. They turn to Holly, the initial suggester.
Well, not me. I just, I don't know how.
I'm afraid I don't either. I know it's important and that I work in an environment with children, blah, blah. But if you had to deal with some of these kids and their attitudes, I mean, could you blame me?
Yeah, I always mean to take the time to learn, but then it's like, I have errands, and the blog is basically a full-time job. And I couldn't even if I wanted to.
Stares. Quick, classic Pam save. She hits the whip as if she's sucker punching someone.
Ella Mayo, Mondays, you guys know what they're like? Am I right?
She raises her hand in high five, and since no one answers, she slaps Kathy's unconscious hand.
Man, she's cold. Tiffany, you can do everything, right?
She gestures at Kathy.
CPR her! With oxygen! To her lungs! Go! Put some in there!
Tiffany shrugs gracefully and apologetically.
If you can't perform it during the talent portion, I never saw the point.
Aha! I knew you couldn't be good at everything. You may try to act like you aren't, but you're as clueless as the rest of us.
Elaine, you're a doctor! You have to know CPR!
I'm not that kind of doctor. I don't know. I only know CPR for penguins from my Antarctica study days. I think the beak really changes stuff, so not something I can help with either.
Isn't CPR like kissing? I mean, ew. I couldn't do that to my own sister.
It's not kissing, it's just mouth proximity. And it's to save her life.
Yeah, no life is worth kissing your sister. Rob, you like what's it called? The book with words, Tresaurus. You know how to have life skills, right?
Please, lest your short memories failed you already, may I remind you all that I likely have the avian bird flu. Not to mention that I particularly partake in a pensive post in a pipe that I light with single matches. My lungs are not the ones you want transferring breath. Also, I don't know how.
Come now, everyone. If she's meant to come back to life, the Lord will perform CPR with his goodness. And if she's not, we know it wasn't meant to be.
It's probably concerning that none of us know it, right? Oh, Bethany, you have 8 kids.
No, I don't. But point taken. I probably should know it, but Mrs. Shield never, insisted that I learned. I mean, she just cared that I could, drive the car and the family yacht and make the food and the beds and the doctor's appointments and forge signatures for legal documents and not divulge secrets about the family fortune and put on Band-Aids and...
Why doesn't someone just call an ambulance?
How brilliant, if adventitious exhortation, Anastasia.
You must understand that is not my name.
Wait. I totally get wanting to call the ambulance, because, it's logic, and logic is totally cool with the kids. Yeah, I listen to current music, a cool mom move. But what if they find the poison in the lungs, though?
Everyone but McCormick, Robert, and Kathy's corpse do a sharp, thoughtful ooh inhale. Robert scoffs and begins dialing on his phone, taking way longer than it should to type 911.
The utter incompetence of this room is bewildering. Not one of you has the spine or guts to commit either a scheme or a murder. This is why I was against this utterly convoluted and, quite frankly, juvenile scheme all along. Here we stand, in hallowed halls, intended for the future of our country, to learn and connect and understand the holistic natures so necessary for our functions on this twisted, rotting rock we call our home planet, and you all stand here and swing at one another's throats as though...
The dispatcher on the other end picks up. Now faced with real authority, we get a glimpse of Robert out of his element. In an overly laid-back tone.
Yes, hi, 911? Hey, how's it going? This is not a big deal, but if it isn't any trouble, could you send us... Yeah, I can hold. No problem. We can wait. No worries. Thank you.
He lowers the phone from his ear and tries to straighten back to the powerful stance he had seconds before. The PTA is unimpressed.
You might want to hop off of that high horse of yours, Robert, because it's bucking. It's gonna kick you off if you aren't careful, if you're too smug. and you'll get hurt if this fake horse that's high up kicks you off.
She turns to Susie, apprehensive.
Did that make sense?
We could all tell you were really trying, dear.
Firmly to Robert.
And don't you finish that far too accommodating on your end call, Robert. You are not the parent I thought you were if you can't behave abhorrently to a customer service worker. Be reasonable here. Call an ambulance. What would we say that wouldn't lead us all to being arrested? We allegedly poisoned the wrong person by accident, and also she was recently thought to be dead already? Send help?
Oh snap, call Susie John Cena because she's a rock.
Pam, why can't you get a single pop culture reference right? And Susie, what are you saying? A woman is dying.
A woman who was already dead as a doornail? Yes? A woman who came back to life wouldn't only have to answer for faking her own death, but for selling product stock in an essential oils company that was really just water from leaking ceiling pipes in the asbestos memorial wing of the school. A woman who definitely didn't pay for the rights to use that Earth, Wind, and Fire song. And don't you get on me about going to HE double netball sticks like Robert did the other day. I pre-confessed to any deaths that might have happened tonight. My soul is cleaner than a platter of polished off pie.
Susie smiles sweetly.
Wait, Anne? Was Kathy's rejuvenation cocoon the reason why you started holding all of your parent conferences in the swanky third auditorium that we built instead of fixing the asbestos memorial wing?
Of course it was. And I don't want to hear a word about how that wing is a death trap. When in doubt, you don't fix a problem. You add a ton of new, better built things around it to distract from the chaos. That's why we're installing another dining hall this year instead of getting rid of the high-end cardboard boxes we're calling trailer classrooms.
Is everyone at the school the otherwise?
I suppose I see your point about Kathy's body. I don't trust anyone in this room right now, and I know you don't trust me. But we can't work out these absurd issues sitting in here. We have to dispose of
the body. Exactly what I was thinking. Call our brains Lindsay and Lohan because they are identical twins.
The crudités, not the body, good Lord, Pam. We get rid of those and then move Kathy's body out of here into a location where we'll be able to try and save her some other way. Or where we'll have to actually dispose of it. We'll figure out a plan from there.
Right. We need a rendezvous point.
Is that like a Xanax? Because give me two.
I suppose we could meet in my crafting shed. It's a modest little 3-bedroom on Harbor Terrace Drive, and I bought it under an assumed name using a full cash payment. No one knows it exists.
Great. We'll go there. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but whose car has room for the body?
My 19th century Toyota Sienna is likely the roomiest of anyone's, but I'm afraid Elise and I drove our hand car here. It only seats 2 and needs 2 to operate, so it's doubtful Catherine's corpse and I could manage.
I'd offer my Prius, but I just got the steering wheel reupholstered and I don't want to take any risk with anything happening to it.
I drive a cargo transit van. It's basically an airport shuttle, but it's the only way I can get all the kids anywhere. We could lay Kathy's body across the back row and kind of carefully seatbelt her in.
That sounds like just the ticket. But, dear, are you sure you're willing to risk your vehicle being involved in all of this?
That's true. I shudder to think, but if our makeshift hearse is caught, her DNA would naturally be embedded in it.
Dead people don't have fingerprints. They're dead.
They still have fingers.
Yeah, but they don't have there's no oxygen. So how would the DNA work?
How would the DNA work?
We all can't be fake professors, Robert, okay?
Please, enough with this lover's spat.
Fine.
As if.
Bethany, are you sure we can use your car?
Please. Do you know how many kids climb through that thing on a daily basis? Sometimes we don't even know them. They just assume we're either a school bus or an unmarked van they can get kidnapped in. And between all that and the 2 pounds of loose stale Cheerios and Takis that are on every surface, good luck getting so much of the clean hair out of there. I nearly lost my leg trying to vacuum its carpets once, and when I got out, there was a pouch worth of applesauce in my bra. I don't even know how that happened. It's a nightmare in there. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. I'm gonna drive it right into the ocean one day. It's fine.
Bethany's death trap party bus it is then. And if something happens to the body on the way where we lose it, and we are no longer responsible for what happens to it, that's okay too.
The only thing we have to worry about are the precious progeny of our fellow parents outside.
It's fine. Nora H was blowing up the bounce house right when I came back here. They'll be too busy to notice we're gone.
Nora H, who used to be a loan shark?
No, Nora H, who ghostwrites the Kardashian family's Instagram posts.
Can't just leave my daughters here, though. Just because I almost never put effort into their happiness doesn't mean I don't want them to be happy, at least when it's not inconvenient for me.
And shield child number 1 is here. I can't abandon her. It would get me fired. Wait. Would it get me fired?
Not to worry, I spoke with Nora H., who owns stock in Credit Wireless, and she said she'll be finding carpools home for all of the children whose parents couldn't pick them up. Thank you.
So they'll be fine.
They may end up in cars with total strangers, but they're rich total strangers. If anything bad happens, they've got people to cover it up.
I'm sorry, is that comforting to you?
The only parent I wouldn't want my kids around is Patricia Rhombus, but she just got her license suspended last week because she was using her Mercedes to smuggle park benches out of the Bronx Zoo again. So the kids will be fine.
Tiffany, Bethany, Lance, and Elaine, you guys take the back door and bring the body to Bethany's human U-Haul. Then everyone goes to their respective cars and we all book it out of here and to my bungalow. That's French for bungalow.
Excellent. I can't believe we're doing this. I can't believe I let myself get talked into doing a secret competition for the next president of this PTA. I can't believe I chose to do this instead of becoming a corporate lawyer.
No time for career-related breakdowns, Missy. Those are for Tuesdays. Let's take a leg and shuffle dear Kathy out of here.
The group prepares to pick up Kathy.
Okay, gang. Be gentle. I know we put enough poison in there that she's almost definitely dead by now, but just in case.
Elaine's phone vibrates, and she immediately drops Kathy's upper body to check it. Kathy's head lands heavily on the ground. The room freezes.
Huh. Well, that probably did it.
Han stands next to Subtitles, who continues translating what he says.
German.
Language barriers, the worst, huh?
German.
I know, I saw. If only you could see me too, right?
German.
Han says a moment of inspiration.
German.
I knew you would say that.
Holly's working home kitchen. Elaine is mid-conversation with Holly, Susie, Robert, and Lance as they wait for the rest of the members.
And that's why I can't stand fourth wall breaks. If someone looks at me or speaks to me, I am compelled to answer. If they don't answer back, it sets off a unique sense of rage in my mind. I tried watching Fleabag and ended up smashing my TV with a shake weight.
Fascinating.
Elaine, you're so self-involved. That's a compliment, by the way. I just meant that I don't know any parents who have the time to think about themselves. I know I haven't thought about anyone but Hans since I adopted him.
He tears up.
And all that selflessness still drove him away from me. What did I do wrong?
Susie pats his arm.
Keep up, Lambkin. Wherever your strange little boy is, I'm sure he's doing his darndest to find his way back to you, even with that speech impediment he's got.
I believe he's just speaking another language.
Oh, you're telling me, dearie.
Susie laughs at her own joke. Holly is growing impatient.
This is taking longer than the 17-layer chocolate bars that I make for the trick-or-treaters so their parents envy me. How are the rest of them not here already? They should have arrived, like, minutes ago. I bet they're using Waze.
Oh, it's so slow, right? Funny story. I had to switch to Google Maps after I ended up being 3 hours late to pick up Hans from the airport when he arrived.
He tears up yet again.
I miss him so much.
Personally, I never rely on those gosh digitized representations of an environment. My Westchester County Atlas from 1915 serves me just fine when I'm out and about.
Didn't the entire county rezone like 50 years ago? How accurate are those maps?
Some of us enjoy knowing the rich history of our great administrative division. If that means a spasmodical trip to the wrong side of town, so be it.
Is that why you're late to almost everything?
The door opens, and Pam enters the kitchen.
Oh snap! Everyone's favorite Pam girl is here. Get it? Like cam girl?
Do you know what a cam girl is?
Duh, my Elaine man. It's someone who, like, live streams themselves doing photography. It's totally pogo stick. Anyways, sponsored shout out to my favorite map app, Akuma Move. Has the body gotten here yet?
Clearly not, Pamela.
Oh man, still. I was hoping that you guys might have buried it already and we could all just hang out instead. Like, we vowed to never speak of the murder. We were all part of planning and executing with no one, especially not me, being really involved in it. And then we would watch The Bachelor together and laugh at one another's snarky commentary. And then it becomes a weekly thing. And then that becomes a regular tradition. And we start doing potlucks. And it's how we cope with the fact that we don't have any kind of community to spend time with and feel safe in without the PTA.
Beat.
I don't think The Bachelor's on right now.
It's not. I assume.
Sounds outside. Elaine goes to the door and reports back.
3 cars just pulled up.
Oh my stars, it's the authorities. Quickly, everyone grab a sharp object and head for the bathroom window.
The room is thrown into a panic as Elaine groans.
Oh, good Lord. I recognize that annoying, perfect parallel park anywhere. One's Tiffany.
She's good.
She ratted us out to the cops.
I swear to every deity that I'll stop speaking in overly pretentious palaver if it keeps me out of the lockup.
I am going to smash the windows of her incredibly well-kept Prius the second I get the chance.
I guess we have to kill her too. Oh no, Holly, where do you keep your chemicals?
There are no cops out there. McCormick just got out of another one, and the third one's big enough to host an entire bat mitzvah's worth of children. That's got to be Bethany with the body.
The room settles their nerves.
Oh. Duh.
Well, they certainly were slow as molasses in January getting over here.
I never suspected it.
I don't fantasize about destroying car windows when the stress of motherhood gets to me.
Well, like, maybe we should still get the poison, just in case.
Oh, of course, Tiffany's barely breaking a sweat carrying the body. She just loves to flaunt the fact that she used to volunteer teach MMA techniques to orphans. It's not like I couldn't take her on in any theoretical fight, you know. My insomnia project last weekend was combining my Fitbit with a dog shock collar so that if my heart rate dips below the average one of someone who just ran a marathon, I get a little...
She minds getting shocked.
Well, that sounds nice and healthy and not destructively competitive, sweetie. Maybe take that off while we're here.
Tiffany, McCormick, and Bethany enter, carrying the body.
Here's Kathy. I'm sorry, that was insensitive. I was channeling Pam.
Pam is flattered. Holly gestures to the kitchen island.
Ugh, put her here. Good thing I Windex daily.
Kathy's body is set down. McCormick is greatly disgruntled.
Thank you all so much for your help lugging this in. Really, I loved hefting around a body that I didn't poison, unlike some of you.
Tough tomatoes, Anne, dear. Maybe you shouldn't have been so willing to disband our merry little band of parents if you didn't want drastic measures to be taken.
How was I supposed to guess that murder was the step you'd all take?
If you'd taken our past into account, the fact that Kathy faked her own death, Diana's mysterious murder, and the generally short tempers and lack of consistent mental stability of everyone here, you might have assumed that harmful, unreasonable reactions would result from taking away our one source of community, not to mention the self-serving pride we all have attached to being part of a high-profile group like this one. Oh, and the power we derive from being able to control what happens and doesn't happen at our school.
The other PTA members nod solemnly. McCormick rolls her eyes.
Great, that makes perfect sense. And now we're disposing of a body, even better.
Oof, yeah. I forgot that we have to, do something about that body now.
Yeah, I guess we should.
Yeah, we should.
Would be right to.
Yes, to get going with that.
They stand, no one wanting to admit that they have no clue what to do. Pam and her homicidal tendencies are bursting at the opportunity to offer advice.
Okay, so I'm just putting this out there as, an idea we could follow. But what if we buried Kathy in a deep hole in Holly's she said backyard, planted a garden over her body when the weather was right, and never spoke of it again?
The other members stare at Pam. They're slightly scared. They're slightly relieved.
Well, that does seem to be a logical course of action. A logical course of action for covering up a murder? And who have you become?
I'm not crazy about the potential bad vibes that a dead body could inflict on my crafting energy. Then again, I'm always looking for ways to spice up my routine. Maybe working here with the knowledge that a ghost could be haunting me will be the challenge I need to create even better work. And I was thinking of putting roses down next month. They'll go so well with Kathy's makeshift grave.
Okay, guess that's settled. Tiffany, would you care to lug Kathy's body back outside with your obnoxiously well-toned biceps?
Thank you for asking. Now.
No, because...
Oh, of course. No, because my strength would really be better suited for digging that deep, deep hole in the backyard. And while I was glad to be part of the teamwork and community that brought this body inside, I would be remiss not to raise awareness of the generous contribution of Bethany Campbell, underpaid nanny of unknown age and unpainted nails, made to our corpse-carrying crusade.
Oh, it's just that the many years that I spent carrying children around sort of predisposed my arms to having a body, any body, in them. I'm really not that strong, physically or mentally, because a mentally strong person would quit a job that was shaving years off her life and quit trying to substitute years of parental neglect with the approval and friendship of other parents, all of whom are very chill about murder. And a physically strong person wouldn't have failed the psychiatric exam necessary to donate bone marrow in a desperate attempt for leave the country money.
The entire room is cringing, Kathy's corpse included. Bethany backtracks awkwardly.
It's fine. It's fine. Rich people need kidneys all the time. It's fine.
Well, guess that's what we'll be doing. We'll all go out and dig the grave, then Bethany can chuck Kathy's body in and we'll fill it up.
The room is in agreement. They turn to the body on the kitchen counter.
Nance, well, she was your kin. I'm sure we would all be glad to hear any last words you'd wish to impart on her memory before her rather informal burial.
The room turns to Lance. He thinks hard.
Pass. Oh, wait. Goodbye, Kathy. I'll miss you.
He bows his head for a second, then straightens up. Silence.
That's it? Okay.
Kathy. Why couldn't you just died when I killed your memory from my mind? Right, as I was healing. She really ripped the SpongeBob Band-Aid off of that wound, huh?
Well, we ought to begin our work for her final resting place. Somewhere she would have liked to have lain in her final hours.
Well, I think she would have loved my backyard. Thank goodness I still have some space not occupied by my new herbs.
I shudder at the thought of the amount of manual labor we're to accomplish, especially if we want this done before dawn breaks. What do you have in the way of digging implements? Are we expected to make do with our hands?
Ew, of course not. I've got shovels on shovels in the tool shed out back. I built them out of bamboo and slabs of concrete.
Let's get this over with.
I think I'll stay here. with the body, in case her soul gets lonely.
What a fine thought, Pamela. I'm sure she'll appreciate the company.
The rest of the group exits through the back door. Pam leans against the counter near Kathy's head.
Well. Guess I'm not the only member in this group who comes up with ridiculous but also sort of genius schemes, huh? Too bad yours failed and mine are totally hash brown winning. I'm flexing my leadership skills and making sure that everyone is implicated in the illegal junk that I'm up to this time. Sure, I may not have succeeded in totally riddling myself of guilt from Diana's murder, but at least I have nothing to worry about when it comes to getting you out of the way once and for all. Soon you'll be where you belong. 6 feet under. That's right. I'm talking about Australia.
That's down under, you dunderhead.
Diana rises from behind the island. Pam jumps.
Holy goop dye in the sky. Scare me to death, why don't you?
Hilarious, Pam. I'd be splitting my sides right now if I wasn't scared of wrinkles for me.
How'd you know we...
Please, Holly and I used to hold our dream life with no children collage making nights here. And it's where we always joked about hiding bodies, you know, if we had to hide them. Do I know my bestie or what?
Yeah. Why don't you go say hi to her? She's in the backyard, aiding and covering up a murder. Something you were judgy Judy about me doing.
Because you murdered me, Pam.
Are you ever gonna let that go?
No, I'm still working my way through the trauma of it all in ghost therapy, which kind of rules, by the way. Death care is free, and it's so nice.
Oh, and guess what, Catcher in the Dye? Your creepy little rhyme from earlier didn't do anything to scare me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was really funny, actually. Like, really good. Seriously, I forgot how good you were with puns back when you were on the PTA.
Well, I know. I was still getting compliments years after the Celebrating Shakespeare luncheon we used to raise money for the new library. I mean, the What You Egg creams were bestsellers. Ugh, stop reminding me how talented I was before you killed me.
Diana slams her fist on the counter. It actually resonates. Pam is shocked.
Whoa, I thought all the spooky shiz you were pulling with the sound system at school was a fluke.
Nope. Guess it turns out I'm pretty great at everything, even in death. Just another reason I was more cut out to be a leader than you. I've got this skill called adaptability.
Oh, yeah?
Diana reaches out and smugly pokes Pam on the shoulder. Pam gasps.
In my face much?
I don't care much.
Still dead much?
Gonna get caught for killing me much?
Actually, I'm gonna be just fine because I covered up all my tracks and everyone in this PTA is way too caught up in covering up this murder that I orchestrated their involvement in to ever be able to hold me accountable for killing you much?
Diana doesn't answer. Pam thinks she's won until she turns to see that the entire PTA has gathered at the back door. Dirt-streaked, tired, and horrified by Pam's accidental admission. Pam stares at them. She faces Diana's ghost, who is bursting with glee.
You are so bested for confessing to the heir.
Diana?
Diana whips to face the PTA, shocked. They can see her? The group stands in silence, processing these two revelations. Diana is as surprised as the rest of them. Pam thinks fast. She does the one thing she can think of.
You dug that hole fast. What are you guys, Static the Porcupine?
Pam dabs. To be continued.